Hello.
And welcome to Film
Bastards.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 539 of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by...
Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello, everybody. Becky is on assignment on her day job today, so will very likely not be with us. But we'll have Bex back next week, talking some horror next week. So she has to be back. But this week, got a pretty film bastards to be fair. So we are going to be talking Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And Guy Ritchie's latest, his 12th film this month. It just makes so much stuff. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
It really does. It is insane the fucking run that man is on. In just terms of just sheer output, it's unreal. His past couple of years.
It's cool. Good on him.
Yeah.
Don't know what he's doing, because I mean, like, he directed like the first two episodes of the Gentleman as well. I'm pretty sure he wrote it all. So, like, fucking hell.
He's in post on In the Grey, the Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal one, and apparently he's filming Fountain of Youth now.
I'm pretty sure he's got another one in pre-prod. They announced recently as well. It's fucking
fair play to the guy.
Good on him. I mean, the thing is, his movies make money. You know, like, if he wants to work, he will work very easily.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even if they don't work in the cinema, the fucking tail that they will have on, like, streaming and DVDs that you pick up in Tesco. I mean, he's a better filmmaker than that, but it's that kind of audience.
And he can work in a budget between 50 and 80 million.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Fair play. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, also got the usual stuff as well. And Pod Syndicate Podcast. Please do listen to other like-minded shows such as Chin Stroker vs. Funter, Entertainment Landfill, The Good, Bad, The Odd, and others. And here we go. So, movie news. What do we have this week?
Well, there's one I told you about not too long ago.
I don't know why I'm surprised. And I think so Roadhouse 2 is happening. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to return, but they've not said anything about Doug Liman.
Can you imagine if he does? You know that Ant and Dec meme that goes round, where they're in like another room and they're talking. It's something to do with a TV show that I've never watched that they do. I just in my brain, there's just that of them going, "Tell him we'll release it in cinemas."
Yeah. That's the thing, because old Jakey G never really came out and said, "I back Doug Liman, this should be released in cinemas." I think the scuttlebutt was he was fine with it.
He very much. He said in an interview that he absolutely got Doug's stance on it, and he backed him. But he really, really liked the movie, and he wanted as many people to see it as possible. And if that meant streaming, then fair play.
Yeah, I mean,
there's an element of, look, I back my boy director because he's a friend of mine, but also Amazon paid me a lot of money for this, and it's part of my contract.
Yeah. Fair fucking play. Good.
The thing is,
good on him.
You can have both. Jake Gyllenhaal there. He can be right in saying, look, I agree with this, but also as well, do you know what? And still want people to go and see the movie.
Yeah. This is solid. Good on him. I bet he's getting fucking paid.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
Yeah. It's. I like the fact that he really enjoyed like the bit of being Dalton.
It's so interesting looking at that against the Fall Guy.
Yeah.
That it already kind of seems to have disappeared a bit. And Roadhouse had a moment.
Yeah.
And, I mean, as... You know, I think streaming has done a lot of bad for films, but when they hit on streaming, their pop culture tale can be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And that happened with Roadhouse. That hasn't happened with The Fall Guy. And,
no,
and I don't know. Yeah.
I think with Roadhouse, I think there was an element of people watched it and really enjoyed it, and then you had people who watched it, film people around Twitter. And I'm not aiming this as criticism of these people. I've already said my piece on that. Didn't like it. And so you had film people like myself. I'm saying film Twitter, and we're not part of film Twitter anymore in the sense that, but I'm just using that parlance there, who really did enjoy it and got like who are more forgiving of that vibe of what that sort of these films go for. But the thing is, Joe Public watched it and fucking liked it. And it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't aggressively offensive about anything. It was, I think people thought that the whole Conor McGregor thing would be bad, and it was, but it was bad in a beautiful way. And the fact that McGregor seemed to be, like, in the press bits that he was doing, he wasn't UFC Conor McGregor. He seemed a little bit, like, there was an interview where someone was going, someone referenced it saying, "Oh, what is McGregor on?" I was like, "No, he's not on anything. He's fucking nervous because he's out of his element. He's talking about a craft that he doesn't understand because he's showmanship."
He didn't look nervous in that fucking film. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Yeah, he did. He did good.
He did. He understood his assignment really well. But it's just, I'm just looking forward to like just the fun that they can have now with that character, with Jake Gyllenhaal's, because he had the character was fun to spend time with. That lackadaisical kind of like jokey demeanour. And I mean, I even saw a clip on it cropped up on something the other day where he's walking along, that guy saying "come with us," and he's like, "Go on then." He's like, "What? Aren't you scared?" He's like, "Well, no. Why should I be?" Like, "Because I've got a gun." He's like, "Yeah, but you can't use it if your finger's broken." And then breaks his finger. And it's just fun. I know it's breaking a man's finger and that shouldn't be that much fun, but it kind of is.
Yeah. You love to see it. It's great. Well done, everybody involved. Maybe apart from Doug Lyman. Just talked himself out of a payday, I think.
It'd be so funny if he came back.
It would be. It would be very, very good. Jakey G should insist on it.
Yeah. Just like he said. Doug Lyman's just going, "No, I'm not doing it." Wait, how much did you say again? Yeah, fuck cinemas, pricks.
Oh dear. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like... Oh, hang on. There's a new Lord of the Rings coming. Everybody asked for this. Andy Serkis directing it. Peter Jackson producing it. Apparently it's a working title, The Hunt for Gollum. Keep it.
I mean, we found him. It was in, 3 of the movies?
I just... The fucking... we're just going back to the well again then, are we, guys? Like, I just... Those... I want to see what the decline in worldwide box office was on those Hobbit films. Because I swear the first one made, over $1 billion and the others didn't do that. But I just want to see if I'm wrong.
Let's have a little look. Okay.
Here we go. I mean... Alright, there was a bit of a drop-off, but not that much. Hobbit Unexpected Journey 1,014,000,000. The Battle of the Desolation of Smaug, 959 million. The Battle of the Five Armies, 940 million. So, there is a real... There is a palpable step down. It's like over 5% between the first and the second one, a couple of percent between the second and the third.
But the other bit there is you still hear people talk about, and you still hear people regularly talk about rewatches of the Lord of the Rings movies. I genuinely keep forgetting that the Hobbit movies exist. And I'm sure there are people out there that love watching them, love rewatching them, and all fucking power to you. That's great. I am not going to take joy away from you. But you never see they didn't seem to have that grip, partially because they were a bit naff. But yeah, was it a TV series they had?
Yeah,
or I imagine
yes.
that.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's if you want Lord of the Rings, you can literally watch a TV series at home now that has like movie level production value.
Yeah, was it Saint Maud in it?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly that.
Just fair enough, but do you know what? My brain is going, well, at least they're movies. But then my other part of my brain is going, I don't have to watch them, do I?
Yeah, I mean, there's some real... I know we do a movie podcast and we talk about new releases, but fucking hell, it's going to be a struggle to watch that.
Yeah, I don't... I hope that people who are very into the Lord of the Rings thing are happy about it, and they're not going, oh, not fucking sure. Because it just seems like, if you've just not got any ideas, Peter, then fair enough. But I mean, how long has it been since Peter Jackson made an original idea? Was it The Frighteners?
Yeah.
That's, what, 97?
I mean, in terms of fictional films, like, documentary, like They Shall Not Grow Old was not... I mean, it was based on the IP that is World War One, I suppose.
That's it. So there's, there's not... He's not... And this is... It's weird. It's so weird, like, because... Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, Brain Dead, Heavenly Creatures, The Frighteners. That was in 9 years. He did that. And then since that, yeah. Weird. Real odd career.
Yeah. And I mean, Circus,
Fair play, yeah.
Good on you. Yeah, I mean, really, yeah, it is just fair play. He makes a Venom film, he makes a Mowgli film, he makes a Hobbit film.
Yeah.
Random fucking career, but I just...
seems like a good dude, Circus. He's always seemed like, he worked for a lot of years as a jobbing actor, and now, he's enjoying, directing movies, and he still has a studio that does motion cap, doesn't he? So, fuck it. He swung and hit.
Yeah. I just don't know how bothered people are going to be.
Yeah. I don't. I'm fascinated to see how bothered they're going to be. And I also... There's a part of me... Because I'm not bothered. There's a part of me that hopes that my sort of reticence of thinking, I don't think people are that bothered. I hope I'm really wrong on this, and that people are bothered, and that it's a really big success, and that they're good.
It's just the Lord of the Rings films, I think, are great. Like, I think Lottie, I think maybe like this winter, I think I'm going to try her on them. I think she'll be into it. But The Hobbit, I could not imagine her showing her The Hobbit, and it just, that poisoned the well for me so fucking bad.
The thing is, I'd like to rewatch the Lord of the Rings movies, but then I tried about 10 years ago to rewatch Lord of the Rings movies, and got halfway through the first one. Bear in mind, I enjoyed the Lord of the Rings movies when I first watched them at the cinema. I really did enjoy them. And I tried to rewatch them. And I got halfway through the first and just turned back and went, I know this is going to sound really fucking, like, nerd, but I'm really quite bored. I'm really bored. Like, and it surprised me. I didn't expect that. I was really looking forward to it, and we'd made dinner, and we were sat there, and we'd finished dinner, and then I was really enjoying it, and then another like 30-40 minutes went by, and I thought, oh no way, I was enjoying the dinner. This movie is killing me, and it was just that, and it got to like the moment where in my brain this moment was the end of the movie, but where it's like the 9 of them, and like they have almost like this photo moment, even though photos aren't there, and I was like, fucking hell, that's fucking flown by. And then Bex pauses to get a drink. I was like, holy shit, we're only an hour and 20 in.
Yeah.
But I might rewatch them again at some point, maybe this year, and go, fucking hell, 2012, Mark, you were a prick, weren't you?
I don't think you will. I mean, I don't think you'll think you were a prick. I mean, you might think you're a prick for other reasons, I don't know, but...
Probably. Guy's a real piece of shit.
Alright, trailers. So, there was a short trailer for David Cronenberg's new one, The Shrouds. It's playing at Cannes in the next week or so. I don't know. I'm a little bit checked out on Cronenberg, if I'm honest, because like he just does stuff that isn't really for me. And I'll be honest with like what's happened in my life over the last few weeks. The whole kind of like talking to the dead, kind of like whatever the fuck this is doing.
Maybe just don't need it.
I feel like I'm heavily not going to vibe with it at the moment.
Yeah, there's occasions where that happens, where you're just like, do you know what? I just kind of don't need that in my life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I was more intrigued, but I'm kind of not. There's a weirdness of Cronenberg movies for me shouldn't look that clean.
Sure.
They shouldn't look that. I think it's what bothered me about what was the last one he did last year?
Crimes of the Future.
Crimes of the Future, that was it. And it had crimes in it. I can't remember what it was. You're dealing with like what all these things that are supposed to be a bit icky and a bit visually disconcerting, but it all had this very digital, very pristine look to it that it didn't vibe well with me. It made me, I don't know, I checked out of it a little bit, and it couldn't grip me because of that, because I was constantly going, yeah, I'm very well aware of that I'm watching a movie, which sounds stupid, but it is. I couldn't get lost in like the ideas of it all.
Yeah, sure. Shoot that shit on 16mm.
Yeah. And just have it look a bit fucking gnarly and a bit like that. If you're going to make a gnarly film, make it look a little bit gnarly. You know, and don't fucking post-prod gnarly it like fucking Robert Rodriguez would. But just go back to your fucking well. You know, you know how to shoot on fucking 16mm.
Yeah. We'll see what the reviews are like, but people seem to love Crimes of the Future, and I again just not feeling it. Yeah. Getting older, like there's stuff out there that I just don't want to see, and I know that I don't have to see, so I'm not going to see.
Yep, it's perfectly
like
fair.
The new Hobbit film or Lord of the Rings film. Right, what else we got? Obviously, there's a biggie, but anything else around that?
You're cordially invited.
I saw this went up a little while ago. I haven't seen this yet. Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon, eh?
Yeah. So do you know what it's about?
No. I mean, I'm assuming it's wedding-y.
Yeah. So from what I gather from the trailer, she's getting married, or her sister is getting married, and his daughter is getting married, and the place they're both going to get married are double booked for the same wedding. Then it just goes into a bunch of clips of Reese Witherspoon being smug and Will Ferrell just being Will Ferrell, but with a slight bit more aggression than normal.
Is it like more kicking and screaming Will Ferrell? Because I could be down for that.
It does. That's it. It does seem like that. Like literally, at one point in the trailer, he says to her, "There's going to be a wedding, and if my daughter isn't on that pier having the wedding, and it's a different woman, I am gonna drown that fucking woman." And he isn't doing it in like stupid Will Ferrell voice. He's doing it more in like just Will Ferrell voice, not like Wedding Crashers Will Ferrell. It's more Wedding Crashers Will Ferrell, sorry, than The House Will Ferrell.
So, is it setting up them as a romantic couple, or does it seem like it's actually just darker?
I don't think so. It doesn't seem to be. No,
good, because I don't want to see that.
No, I don't. When it first happened, they were both walking. I thought, wait, no, I don't want to see them two as a romantic couple. That's fucking icky. Because even though they're probably not far off the same age,
it feels like he's 20 years older than her.
No, it was more like, I feel like you can do better, Will.
I mean, I'm a noted Reese Witherspoon skeptic, but I think that's harsh.
No, more the fact that not because, like, on a scale of attractiveness, because she seems like a piece of shit.
Right, okay, yeah.
Like, the character and the human. It's the thing is, it comes to Prime at the end of it. I went, alright, I can watch that on a Tuesday when I'm barely paying attention.
It's fucking comes out in January, and they're doing a teaser trailer now.
Yeah.
Even though, do you know what? Amazon are doing their upfronts today, like the annual thing that broadcasters do to like preview why you should buy advertising on us.
Yeah.
That will be why, and that will be why Roadhouse 2 got announced today as well.
That will be it then, yeah. To kind of like just pump that up a little bit.
Yeah, like get people interested, get the old share price maybe going, but yeah.
Do you know what I don't really understand? So
maths?
Fuck yeah.
Train stations.
I do not understand train stations. Well played.
Sorry.
So the Champions League next season is going to be on Prime.
That's a fucking pivot. Right, okay. Yeah.
The Champions League next season is going to be on Prime. Why aren't they telling anybody?
Is it?
Yeah. Exactly. It's not going to be on TNT shite anymore.
Hang on, really?
Yep.
Huh. Hang on. Yeah. No, hang on. BT have retained the lion's share of the rights. Amazon have secured 17 first-pick Champions League matches on Tuesday nights.
Right, so that's it, yeah. Oh, so it's still going to be on TNT as well? Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, and then BBC are going to do highlights for the first time.
Yeah, because TNT, just a mild tangent, TNT somehow managed to take what BT Sport were doing badly and make it even worse.
I haven't watched much TNT Sports this season.
I mean, if you can get the app to actually fucking not buffer constantly, you're doing fucking well. It is an absolute crock of shit. And then when the app does work and you are watching it, you've got to put up with Joe Cole and Rio Ferdinand, so you don't want to watch it.
Fair. Yeah, Amazon Prime having Champions League football on a Tuesday night. That's cool. I didn't know that.
And to be fair, I quite like Amazon's coverage of it. I think it's decent.
Yeah. Nah, good on them. Even though I saw the FA Cup, sorry, a bit of a tangent, but the FA Cup rights ITV have lost from 2026. It's going to be BBC and TNT Sports now.
Yeah.
That's a shame. It seems like the BBC are only going to have like 2 live matches around or something as well, which
which is
like,
wrong, really. That's it's another reason why the FA needs a complete overhaul. Because personally, in my view, again, very mild tangent here. In my humble view of football, is that you are quite literally taking football away from people by making it such a paid-for event. And the viewing figures, for instance, if you put on if the recent Manchester City Champions League game had been on ITV or even BBC, because I don't think BBC have ever had Champions League, actually, I don't think. It's been a long time since they have. Then, if they'd have been on there, you'd have probably got anything from 8 to 14 million viewers. It's on TNT and you're getting about 1.5 million viewers. Football should be more freely available to watch for free on terrestrial TV. It should be there. And the absolute 100% guarantee is that the FA Cup should be available there.
Yeah, and just the fact that BBC had done such a good job in sticking on the lower, the first round, you'd get teams that would never be fucking broadcast on national TV otherwise.
Nope.
Like on BBC One on a Saturday lunchtime or on the red button even, but at least they were there. And TNT Sports might do the same, but if the audience is that much lower for the bigger matches, can you imagine what they're going to be like for those kinds of matches?
That's it. TNT Sport will do it, but they want £25 a month off you for the fucking pleasure.
Yeah.
I know, very unpopular thing to discuss on a film podcast, but Klopp said a very important thing, I think, that got missed in all of the headline grabbing bits of it. He said that somebody from TNT Sports said, well, we pay you. You need us this. You pay us, you're happy to take the money. And he's like, no. We provide the service for you. We pay you effectively because you get all the ad money. You need us. We don't need you. Football will exist without you. And it's right. The TV companies need to stop having this magical fucking hold over everything. And it is another thing that is making me completely fall out of love with football is this complete ickiness of the money thing that's going on. And I know that I am old man shouts at cloud now with this, but I kind of don't fucking care. It's a cloud that I'm actually quite liking shouting at with this. It's the phrase that every fucking person at some point gets old enough to use about the sport they love is, and mine is football, is the game has fucking gone. And it is starting to get a little bit like that for me. And I don't like it, but it's true.
Sad.
It is. It is sad. And I genuinely don't watch anywhere near as much as I used to watch of football. I watch probably about a fifth of what I used to watch.
So, Megalopolis.
Yes.
Polygon's article about it, Polygon.com, the Megalopolis trailer might be the coolest thing I've ever seen. Film Twitter ablaze with "We're so back. Why are people saying that this won't make any money? Just look at it."
Why are people saying it won't make any money? Because look at it.
Right. I think it's a cool trailer for film people.
Yep.
I would love to know your average man on the street. You gonna go check that out?
The thing is, it might do well. It might catch a hook, but also as well, it's. I just don't know with it. I think it looks good. I don't think it looks amazing. I think it looks fun. It looks more interesting than I was expecting it to look. But yeah, I'm not sure it looks as fun as it would need to look to get that many people out to the cinema. It might do perfectly fine, but it's not going to do gangbuster numbers.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, it's the new film from Francis Ford Coppola, which unfortunately will get a who? What? From most people.
Yeah. I think calling it a fable, bad idea.
Yeah. There's so many things that are just going, oh my god, it's just fucking Gilliam's Don Quixote again.
Yeah, man. I mean, I hope it's good. I'm also really worried it's gonna be 3 hours of pretty visuals and fucking nothing underneath.
Yeah, that's it. I genuinely, I really fucking hope it's good, because it'd be so cool to get a really fucking good Francis Ford Coppola passion project where you're watching it going, fuck me, why haven't you made more movies in the past 30 years, Franny? But there's another part of me that is going, it's gonna be like fine, and people are gonna tell me it's amazing, and I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot for going, is it?
That's exactly what is going to happen. Yeah. There is going to be a lot of very, very loud people on the internet shouting at people about how good the film is.
Yeah, and I will be told numerous times, well, you don't get it. Like, oh, maybe, but I'm fine with that.
But it's got distribution in the UK.
Roadhouse.
Entertainment film distributors have signed it for the UK, so it will get a theatrical in the UK.
Entertainment?
Yeah.
Fucking great. It'll get a theatrical in 2 cinemas, one of them in London, one of them in Sunderland for some reason.
Yeah, look, I mean, they put Civil War out and they gave that a good go.
Actually, yeah, that's fair, actually.
So, yeah, you know, fair dues. I'm sure they'll actually give it an IMAX release. But then it's like, I don't know, how many showtimes are you going to get for Megalopolis? Like, they're going to have to be really careful that there's basically nothing else that would be an IMAX release out the week they put it out.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's 138 minutes, apparently.
Okay. That's all right.
That's
what
if
film is.
If you're taking it's gonna have, I mean, Larry Fishburne's in there. I like that it's got Larry Fishburne in it. It's a good cast, and John Voight.
It's just that initial word out from distributors in the US basically saying no one's going to be able to fucking sell it. Fair play. That is a teaser trailer that will get film Twitter boners up. So it's kind of done that job. But hey, do you know what? You don't have to convince film Twitter to see your fucking film. You have to convince everybody else.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But, you know, fucking Adam Driver can convince people to watch movies. 65 did, what, $12?
Yeah. I mean, Ferrari did 6. I hope I'm wrong, and I know George's going to be fucking screaming at us.
The thing is, I genuinely hope I'm wrong. There's sometimes where you look at it and go, like, you're giving streaming services exactly what they want. Movies to fail.
And then there's just going to be loads of discourse about, like, you people say that you want these things, then you don't go see them, you know.
Which is true.
I mean, yeah.
It's fucking true. The people, why don't like smaller movies get released at cinemas? Actually, they do quite often. Oh yeah, but it was only on at 2 in the afternoon, at 8 at night, and I can't quite make those things work. Well, fucking just try a bit harder.
Right, Megalopolis. I think we'll see it this year.
looking forward to it because it looks fucking fun, like to people like us.
Yeah. Okay. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is directed by Wes Ball and stars Owen Teague, Freya Allen, Kevin Durand, and my MVP for the film, Peter Macon, playing Raka. So, many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike. Yeah, fair enough. How'd you like the monkeys?
God, they talk, don't they? They talk so much. The thing about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is, I'm going to really contradict myself here, in that one of its biggest failings is I didn't need the human characters. But also at the same time, I need it not just to be the apes talking to each other all the time. And I can't square that circle within it. I think the only way I can is by going, the only character I actually gave any shit about or actually thought was good was Raka. And that was it. And when he was on screen, I was like, this is great. I'm enjoying him explaining, the essentially what happened from the last movies to this movie and the bits in between to Noah. But then the bits that happened before that and after that, I was like, I'm finding it really hard to engage with, which is weird because it looks really nice as well. It's a really good looking movie, but it just, I never clicked with it.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much the same, to be honest. I hadn't had a good feeling about this, basically, from all the marketing. My expectations really weren't that big. And it kind of it just kind of met my expectations, which were straight up 7 out of 10. It's a film that in its last 5 minutes sets up a way more interesting film than the film you've just watched for the last 2.25 hours.
Yeah.
The main bad guy, I think Kevin Durand is like pretty good in it, and like the What a Wonderful Day stuff stands out, which is good because what's he trying to do? And why is he like ransacking that why did he ransack that village? Like, because sometimes he doesn't actually seem that bad.
Yeah, it's like he just occasionally has a bit of a bad day and just needs to let off a little bit of steam.
Yeah. Noah, I like, not a particularly interesting character, to be honest. The girl May, not that interesting. Like, I kind of feel like they almost like spoil what's going to happen at the end by the fact that, she basically has human clothes on from the start, and it's just right. So there's other smart people out there. Then cool. All right, looking forward to seeing how this plays out.
It's a very good point. That
And yeah, I mean, it seems to be trying to do stuff that's actually more interesting than the execution. Like, by the end, where it's kind of setting up May and Noah as people who would get on if their ideologies were the same, but they're just on two different sides. And like the way she comes to him at the end, and she's like got the gun behind her back. Like, I thought, that's setting up something interesting there. Like, they are going to be conflicted antagonists. in future films, you would assume.
Yes.
And that I think could be interesting. And the whole, they want to keep humans down because they know that the minute humans actually get a leg up, they'll fucking just want to dominate the apes again. And I like that. It's quite a nihilistic view, but I like that. But again, feels like something that will be done in the second film. I mean, what do we have here? We have villages ransacked and people are killed for basically no reason.
Yeah.
He goes on quest to find family. Discovers the teachings of Caesar through an orangutan who, it's made clear, Noah thinks is just a bit nuts. And then doesn't really learn anything about Caesar. And then the orangutan seemingly dies. And then he doesn't learn anything more about Caesar.
Nope.
Like, it just... It feels like, I don't know, let's just shove some stuff at the wall. We'll see what sticks, and then we'll use what sticks for the future ones. Don't worry about this one so much. It's a bit of a holding pattern.
Yeah, it is. It's like they're setting up... I don't get that. They're setting up, like I said, they're setting up a more interesting story. But just start with that story.
Yeah.
And you can have a setup for that story that lasts 20 minutes... and then tell that story. There's not an awful lot of story here. There's more a collection of visuals that they're trying to build a story around.
And just a shitload of talking.
And so much talking that actually means very little. It literally, it's just talking for talking's sake. You're not... It's not like there's a bunch of fucking exposition dump or... recapping or anything like that, or anything that actually takes you away. There's a lot of just repetitive talking in it, and it does kind of pull you out of it so much because some of the visuals are really good. But then again, you look at a lot of the visuals and going, but is that different to the bit that I just saw 10 minutes ago? There's only so much you can do with the apes, and they don't do that much. Part of like the interesting bits about like the Caesar trilogy, the first one had it was interesting because it was him learning, and then the second one was the apes being let loose in a city effectively, and then the third one was they built a war movie around it. This is just essentially a quest movie, but there's nothing new. It's not a new quest, and there was a quest element to War for Planet of the Apes. So yeah, I just felt a little bit like you say, you were treading water with it a little bit, and then it came to life and then finished.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that it's the first film in what they're thinking is going to be a new trilogy. That treads water in the first film. It's very odd, but it does. It looks great. I think the CG is fucking impeccable. Super impressive. But yeah, I thought it was pretty limp.
Yeah, just a real disappointment in the fact, and it's fucking so long. But in saying that, from the start of the film up to the bit where he meets Raka, and Raka goes through everything with him, I was enjoying that, and I was engaged with that, and I was really liking it and going, all right, this is it's fucking got a kick, it's got going now. And then they go to the sea encampment bit, isn't it? The coastal bit, and that I just then was like, right now it's just people fucking walking and talking.
Yeah, and it I think it tails off as well when William H Macy is introduced to it. And at first it's a good surprise. It's like, oh fuck, he's in it. Okay, cool. But then all he is an exposition machine. And then he gets killed. Like that.
Yeah, and I just I don't buy William H. Macy as being kind of charismatic enough for an ape to go on then. He just seems too middle of the road.
Yeah. No, quite. Look, unfortunately, along with the Fall Guy last week, a real disappointment and a pretty fucking underwhelming start to the summer movie season.
Yeah, it could have done with being a bit...
Well, not a disappointment, just... It's a disappointment
flat.
next to the Caesar trilogy, that's for fucking sure.
It's flat.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of... There's probably more action in it than the trailer let on, but the action isn't that grippy. The raid action on the village is quite good, and it's quite fucking brutal with the... What's his name? The guy when he's beating fucking Noah's father to death. That's quite fucking... Jesus, all right, mate, calm down.
I was quite sad when his bodyguard died. The guy gives him the little fist bump at the start. It was like, that was a tall tree. Good work, gives him a fist bump. The next time you see him, he's fucking dying.
Yeah, that was good. Like I say, first 45 minutes, I think I was kind of in and going, right, this is... it's got some failings, but I'm engaged, I'm in, and then it just fucking drops. Yeah. And the problem is that's what I mean when I say it. I think it's what we mean when we say sometimes movies are too long. You can have a movie that is an hour and 45 minutes long, and it can fucking go along at a kinetic energy, and you're like, holy shit, fair enough, you've earned it. This, it loses its energy, and then it lingers in that for too long that you go, even when it picks back up, you're going, nah, I have disengaged too fucking much for you to fucking drag me back up now. I'm just kind of waiting for you to end a little bit. And that shouldn't happen with a fucking Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm touching cloth.
I'm gonna say definitely not shit because I like the look of it, but I said a 7 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10. There's not that much to recommend it. Like that's the thing.
No, that's the weird thing. There's not a lot. There's not a great deal of that makes me go, yeah, you need to see this. You might get more out of it than I will. I just think that it's quite limp.
Yeah. All right.
Our audience poll. Definitely not shit 80% and touching cloth 20%.
Well, we're the arseholes here then, aren't we?
Yeah, we are the absolute fucking pieces of fucking shit. We're the guys who, you can't take a bit of fucking talking, can you?
Just, I don't know, talking and do something if you're going to be that long.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Ooh, what have I been up to? I only watched a couple of movies. It had Becky's birthday over the weekend, and I was working both days, so I literally had to come home and do birthday stuff, which was fun, great, but it did limit my movie watching a little bit.
I've been playing Metal Gear Solid, I get it. Yeah.
Nice. We watched Animal House. We just try to do it every 7 or 8 years. The thing is, I like Animal House. I don't love it. I've always preferred Caddyshack to Animal House. Probably the fact that I just prefer Chevy Chase to Tim Matheson. But yeah, it might be the last time I watch it. Because every time I watch it, it loses a half star. And I'm now at 3 out of 5. 3 stars out of 5. And I don't want it to drop to 2.5.
Sure.
For that. It is funny. It's funny when it's funny, which I know is a really ridiculous fucking statement to make. But the problem is, there's bits of it now that I'm watching going, yeah, but is that funny? And I don't think that's age, because I'm still quite stupid. But there's bits in it where I think I'm watching going, I think that Animal House is more iconic than it is good. Like, there's more bits that have been are more so even like more influential than it is a great movie. On the influence scale for comedy, it's a 5 out of fucking 5 movie because of the influence it's had on comedy since. But as an actual movie itself, I just don't think it's quite there for me anyway, and I do always still prefer Caddyshack. But I did enjoy it enough with my rewatch, but it has made me go, I think I'm going to rewatch Caddyshack again soon. What else did I watch? Watched Deal of the Century, the William Friedkin Chevy Chase movie.
The one film he doesn't mention in his autobiography.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I watched this a long, long time. I didn't think I'd watched it. I didn't think I'd seen it. And then I watched it, and I got about halfway through it and was like, I'm remembering like a lot of this. So I clearly have seen this, but forgot I watched it. I mean, Chevy Chase is great. I find Gregory Hines a really watchable comedian to watch there. A very good lunchtime watch is what I'm going to say about Deal of the Century. Like, I enjoyed it, but I can see why it's not exactly revered as a classic. It's Chase basically on a little bit of autopilot and cocaine, and you can. It's kind of palpable that it is at points. It's going. Does Chevy think he's making a Fletch movie right now? Like, does he think it's the same character? But it's not quite Fletch. But I did kind of enjoy my rewatch that I didn't know was a rewatch of it. And the thing is, because Ian Beck's constantly trying to have a 30-minute TV show on the go for like nights where if I'm on like earlys or if I'm on late, and we know we can't quite get a chance to watch a movie, but we want to have something on while we're just kind of just decompressing a little bit. So we always try and have like a half an hour show on the go. And it was Beck's turn to choose this time, and so she's like, "I fancy giving Community a rewatch. Will you give it a go? Rewatch with me?" Because I watched all of it when it was originally out, and I enjoyed it enough, so it was like, yeah. So I've been watching quite a bit of Community and Chevy Chase is obviously in that, so I've been getting that era of Chevy Chase where he's very much playing like the fucking terrible sort of stereotypical baby boomer. So it's quite nice watching him here be not a completely fucking deplorable character for that, yeah. And then the last one from me. I've only watched this amount of movies this fucking week. Sure, I've watched more. Nope. What a piece of shit I am. I rewatched Youngblood, or as it was known in the Philippines, Fight for Love. The Rob Lowe and Patrick Swayze movie that also actually stars Keanu Reeves as well. A young Keanu Reeves in this. It's an ice hockey movie, which it was only. I've watched this quite a lot because It was a big rental favourite. Maybe because it was a sports movie and Cynthia Gibbs' boobs are in it, which is always a nice thing.
Whose boobs?
Cynthia Gibb.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. To use a punterism, capital bangers on that girl. If we're going to get fucking cuz the girl in here. Also seen in Death Warrant, I believe. And then that is it. But yeah, because of that boobs and sports movie, I rented it quite a lot back in the day. So then there was bits of it that kind of stood out to me this time going, well, that's a bit wrong. So Rob Lowe plays Dean Youngblood, who is a farmhand in New York, and he gets essentially drafted into the Canadian Hockey League, where if they do well, they end up getting drafted by the NHL, and he wants to go. It's a stepping stone to that. And he's 17, so he goes off to that. And the whole story is that he's really good, and he's a really fast, technical sort of player. Scores loads of goals, but he's quite lightweight, and he can't really fight. And ice hockey is mostly fighting. And his dad doesn't want him to go because his brother went, and his brother was like a fucking fighter and a tough guy, but ended up losing his eye and all this shit. So he goes, and then he's a hot shit the minute he gets there, which is all fine. It's your typical sports movie bit, but there's a bit where he essentially is in like digs basically, and so he's up in his house, and the house matron, which I can't remember her name, what's she called? Miss something, Miss McGill. That's it. Basically, the first night he moves in, she goes in like his room and says, I brought you a nightcap, and brings him tea, and then just starts taking her clothes off. And it's like, okay, right, yeah, this is fun. He's getting to bang this cougar, and then it hits you. He's 17. This is wrong. I mean, great for him, but just when you start watching things back and go, hang on a minute. And yeah, bits like that kind of happen within it. But yeah, I still kind of enjoyed my rewatch of it. It's your typical fucking sports movie where something bad happens and he faces adversity and he walks out, goes back to the farm, his brother teaches him how to fight, and he goes back and he kicks the guy who fucking knocked him down's ass. And that's about it. Nice. Good time. See Rob Lowe's bottom, and you see Cynthia Gibbs' boobs. It's all good. Oh, and Patrick Swayze, there's a scene where, as a kind of hazing for the new guy, they shave Rob Lowe's balls. Good. which is fun. It's quite amusing because you've got them all pinning him down, and basically Patrick Swayze is dressed as like a fake doctor with like instead of a face mask on, he's got like a jock strap on, and he's got like rubber gloves like on, but like only like 3 fingers in it, and 2 of the fingers are just fucking facing the side. He's like, scalpel please, and they hand him like a fucking a cutthroat razor. He's like, it's okay, I've only had like 7 or 8 beers, it'll be fine. So it's kind of fun like that. Nice, good. Yeah, and that was it for me. Other than like the 2 main movies, let's say I've had one of those weeks. Fair play, man. What have you been up to? Good on you. All right, so yeah, I got a few. Oh, I have the other bit. We haven't finished watching it. We did start watching it on Becky's birthday. Cause we like made dinner, and we went out on the day after Becky's birthday, but the night of Becky's birthday we made dinner and then sat down and watched a movie, and we started watching Dune Part 2, but I had been up since 4 a.m. for work, so I was just so fucking tired, and Becky just went, Mark, if you want to go to bed, it is 10 o'clock, it's like at 11 o'clock and you are up for work in the morning. If you want to go to bed, go to bed. I was like, thank you, because I am dying right now. We're about an hour and a half into Dune 2, and fuck me, that's a movie. Yeah, hell of a film. It just, honestly, it flew by. Felt like I was watching it for about half an hour. Nice. I could have watched the rest of it, but I would have been dead at work the next day. You guys can talk about it next week. Absolutely. Yeah. Okie dokie. So, yeah, a few things from me this week. Eurovision, the Story of Fire saga. We ended up not watching Eurovision. We went round some friends and just ended up in their garden all night on Saturday. Felt a little icky about Eurovision just because of like all the political stuff, and like one of the entrants like basically got kicked out of it for potentially assaulting a female member of staff and so. I don't know, it just felt like there was a bad vibe about it this year, which is not what I go to Eurovision for. Yeah, it does seem like a lot. I didn't know it was Eurovision until like the next morning when I was like scrolling through news things and saw a thing about people saying, how lucky it had been this year. And I was like, I didn't even know it had happened.
Yeah, quite. But the story
is shit because usually people are excited about it and have fun with it, and that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and that I don't know, it just the vibe didn't feel there. So we were supposed to go around there to watch Eurovision, and we were just in their garden all night. So it was a nice evening. So
Good.
Story of Fire Saga, absolutely bangs. Still, I think it's my fourth time watching it. That film's just really fucking funny. That's about all there is to it.
Yep.
Dan Stevens, like, I swear, in a just world, would have got a Best Supporting Actor nomination.
Yeah. Honestly, the bit where he says no gays in Russia. Yeah, none at all.
Yeah.
That occasionally for no reason pops into my head like so often.
It's just. And I know he doesn't actually do the vocals on it, but Lion of Love is such a fucking funny song, and his physical performance of that is amazing. God,
that man's a treat.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's having a good time. He's the standout human in Godzilla X Kong. He's doing dirty American cop in Abigail. And he's in Cuckoo coming up. He's having a great year. So, yeah, sorry if I saga.
There's a strong rumour about a guest sequel as well.
Oh, let's fucking go.
Somebody asked him about it recently. Because is it 10 years this year, I think it is, isn't it?
Sure.
Somebody asked him about it and said, it's 10 years, since your breakout American role. And they said, were you ever a little bit, sad that never got a sequel? And he just went, yet.
Oh, that'd be great.
And really, he's like, hey, I'm not just teasing there. There is there's an idea, and let's see.
Love to see it. That'd be great.
It would, because they did leave it open.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't it end with her going like, no fucking way, as he kind of like walks out in the fireman costume?
Yeah,
and it just cuts to credits.
And it's after the bit of where he gives the kid the thumbs up.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, fucking hell! I rewatched that last year, and I was worried that I'd be a little bit like, maybe it wasn't quite as good as we all thought it was. Fucking is.
Yeah. No, good. I will just mention briefly as well, watched the first episode of the new season of Doctor Who, and I'm out. Absolutely fucking not. No.
I am now at the point where I don't... Does anybody enjoy Doctor Who anymore? Because everybody seems... Even people who aren't fucking nut jobs and idiots seem to just not be on board with it anymore. And it's nothing to do with like the lead actors.
Scooty Gat was great. He's super charismatic. Yeah. It's not his fault at all.
It's just... can't it just be a fun kids show that parents can watch too?
Yeah, that's what they're doing with this. And so I'm like, do you know what? Let the kids have their Doctor Who.
Are they doing that with this? That's fine. Because that's what it should be. You shouldn't be trying to entertain the 57-year-olds,
right,
who've been watching it for 45 years. They like it because it was a kids show.
So just spoiler alert for it. So it is an episode called Space Babies. The Doctor and the companion. And this is after the Christmas special. This is the first episode of the series, right? They find themselves on a spaceship, are chased by a monster. They find that the crew is basically all babies in like wheelchairs or pushchairs, like being pushed around with remote controlled things. They are being attacked by a monster called the Bogeyman. Guess what the monster is, Mark?
Is it an actual bogey?
Yeah, it's a monster made of bogies.
Fair.
But and it at the end they power the ship because it's lost power by using the built-up methane of baby farts to power the spaceship. And literally, there is a shot.
Wait, genuinely, are you taking the piss now?
And there is a shot that some very talented visual effects people had to work on of the ship blasting off with a fart cloud.
I mean, that's quite funny, but I don't want to watch it.
I got 10 minutes in, and I just looked at Donna, and I just went, absolutely fucking not, no. And she she was just like, yeah, all right. And by the end of it, she was like, so you're not watching any more then? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And she was just like, good. I was like, why? And she was like, because you've just had negative energy for like the last half an hour. It was like, you know, all right, fair enough. And the next one, because they played 2 on Saturday, is the Beatles get their talent stolen, which is a real pivot. And
yeah.
I don't know. It just, Russell T Davies has come back like almost like a victory lap coming back to Doctor Who, and he is taking no notes. Anyway, so yeah, it was awful. It was so fucking bad, and it's not Scooty Gatwa or Millie Gibson, the new companions' faults. It's not, and there may well be better material, but I was just like, right, if this is what we're actually going for now, I could use my time better. So, there we are. And for what it's worth, I hadn't really watched the Whittakers either, but I watched the Christmas special and I quite enjoyed that. So I was like, yeah, alright, I'll give it a go. And just like 15 minutes in, I was just like, fucking hard pass. No. So, right.
So I think I've said before on Who, Bex tried to get me to watch it once because she quite likes it. And I watched 4 episodes of the first 4 episodes of the Peter Capaldi thing, one. And tonight Bex just said, I don't know how people can watch this. I'm glad people enjoy it. It's one of those things where I do not get it at all. It's avocado on toast to me. I don't understand why people like it.
They're really, really, really pivoting into Let's Be For All the Family when the Whittaker series basically felt like a lecture every week. And before that, Peter Capaldi, like, that season was quite dark and dramatic and full of thematic resonance. It's a pretty schizophrenic show, but now, you know, they've got this big deal with Disney, they've got a lot of money, and it feels like a show for kids, and that's absolutely fine. But it hasn't really felt like a show for kids for a while. Like, the Jodie Whittaker one, it kind of felt like, almost like you would watch them in school. Like, there was a Rosa Parks one. And one about the treatment of the Indians of Indian people by the English, and it's like, these are worthy stories to tell, but at the same time, people aren't going to Doctor Who for those stories. And
they're worthy stories to tell, but there's an element of people of is the right time to tell people that 6:50 on a Saturday evening.
Yeah, and hey, I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that is exactly it. And they moved it to Sundays, and then it did kind of have that kind of like Sunday, we're going to sit down and eat our vegetables kind of feel to it. And I feel sorry for Jodie Whittaker. They did her dirty, but I'm already kind of feeling like, they're going to do Scooty Gatwa dirty. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Right, a couple other things. No Time to Die completed my Daniel Craig Bond rewatch. Yeah, but
I was just on rewatch because I'm gearing myself up for rewatch of this.
Yeah, look, it's cracking. Like, are there flaws in it? Yeah. Do I care? No.
Yeah,
That's exactly where I'm at with it. Like Rami Malek, like basically, he's in that opening sequence, and then he's not in it for about half the film. He's not actually in it all that much, and
the thing is, it's the bit that makes that movie is the fact that it's good, and then if you are engaged with it, and if you've been on board with the whole series, the Craig series, that last sort of 35 minutes, it's just fucking wonderful.
And that's the thing. That last 35 minutes is fucking manna from heaven. You've got some really good Bond moments, like Bond's trying to get these doors open and Q's like talking him through it, and then Bond just basically bashes a bunch of buttons and then it opens. Like that's great. There's this kind of like one shot sequence where he is just kicking ass. And you know,
up the stairs.
Yeah. And like he's kind of making little jokes to himself and stuff. And then the
What I really liked about that sequence though, he looks tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
Craig makes a thing of making it look like it's not effortless, that this is fucking hard work.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, he gets scratched on the face by Rami Malek, and then he kind of realises, and he's talking to Q, and Q realises, and then he's talking to Madeline, and like they have their conversation, and just like, and oh man, it's like Bond saying like, "You have given me the most beautiful thing I have ever," or "You have made the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," you know, and talking about his daughter, and it's just like fucking hell. And the thing is, you believe it with that Bond, you believe it with Daniel Craig, like. He's reached that emotional point where, like, if it was like Roger Moore after 5 years, you'd be like, fuck off. Same with Sean Connery. With Daniel Craig, you believe it. And I know I remember saying this when we first reviewed it, but I kind of don't care what happens with Bond going forward now. Like, it's going to be, it's under Amazon, and who knows what it's going to be. But if it's shit, I don't think I care. I feel like I'm all right. I've got my Bond.
You've got your Bond. Yeah, that's it. The next one doesn't need to be better than any of these movies. The next Bond doesn't need to. It doesn't. It can be something fucking different that's there. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to a rewatch. I kind of held off rewatching it. Because I was worried that it might not kind of hold up to like that cinematic experience. Because if you'd have told me when I first sat down to watch fucking Casino Royale in the cinema, and I was very much like, I wasn't anti-Bond, but I didn't give a shit about Bond. I went to it because I went with a mate, and you'd have told me that and said, "Oh, by the way, in like 14 years' time, you're going to be crying like a child." At the last of Daniel Craig's Bond movies because he dies, I'd be like, I don't think I will. But there I was.
And do you know what? I kind of think Spectre and No Time to Die are quite a good double bill. Like the Madeline story and Blofeld and whatnot. And like his whole... It doesn't actually take that much for Blofeld to trick him into thinking that Madeline was with them. And it's because he's been burnt by Vesper. Yeah. And and the whole kind of like she's got secrets, because I remember that being in the marketing, like Blofeld taunting him and saying like she's her secret will destroy it. I'm paraphrasing, and then it just turns out she's bore his child, and no one was expecting that, and that's it's fucking ballsy. And the thing is, I feel like they're not gonna be that ballsy again. Because I don't think they're going to have a Bond who can act as a creative force as much as Daniel Craig has. Like,
that's it. The thing they had with Craig was he could do the action for it, but But the other bit there is Daniel Craig is a very good actor as well.
And yeah, and he cared, you know, and like he'd say all this stuff about never, like I'd rather slit my wrist than play Bond again and whatnot. And you know, he said himself that that's just kind of the mood he's in after every one of these films, and he kind of gets over himself, you know. And
he did kind of comment on that and said it's more the physical element of it. And he said after No Time to Die, he said, you know, getting in the shape I got in for Casino Royale, I was in my early 30s. And I was already in pretty good shape. Getting into that shape and having to be that physical for that sheer amount of time. You know, he said it's 9 months and you've got to get into that shape and you've got to tail off that shape. So it's 12 months of being in that physical shape in your 50s is something wholly different.
Yeah, quite. And no, absolutely. And you know, Lashana Lynch, really good value. She's got some great spikiness with and then kind of like acceptance with Bond. You know, even David Densick, like the scientist with the tash, great fucking dickhead Bond villain, like side villain, just absolute prick. Billy, what's his name? Billy Magnussen.
Billy Magnussen, yeah.
Like him, I hadn't noticed this before, but Craig comments early on about how he smiles too much, and basically every fucking scene he's in, he smiles at least once.
Yeah,
and I just thought that was really funny. I hadn't quite twigged that before. Like, it's bloody good, and Hans Zimmer's score as well. Like, he uses Bond themes, and obviously, like, We Have All the Time in the World kind of plays a big part, and the theme at the start of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Obviously, this film echoes that quite a lot. But Hans Zimmer's also doing his Hans Zimmer thing in moments as well.
He's zimmering like a motherfucker in that.
Yeah, but not egregiously. Like it still feels of a piece. Fucking bangs There's No Time to Die. I still really, really love it. And these Craig films are just wonderful comfort films, and I've needed that the last few weeks. And they've been a great balm.
You need that. Films are great for that. I have films like that are just I need something to comfort me, and I know that these films will. Like, if I ever watch Mallrats, for instance, if Bexima came in and I was watching Mallrats, she'd be like, "What's happened?"
Yeah.
Like, I only watch that as just pure fucking comfort. Like that is I've not just had a bad day. I have had a fucking horrible fucking few days, and I just need something to comfort me. And Mallrats does that. There's one of them. There's other movies, but yeah, you just need that occasionally.
I mean, honestly, man, like Casino Royale and No Time to Die, I could watch those films whenever.
Yeah.
I could just whenever I'd stick him on. That'd be great. So yeah, No Time to Die. It's been a genuine pleasure watching those films. Even the least of them, Quantum of Solace, it's the shortest as well. You know, like so there's that too, and it's got its moments. So, right, last one for me before second main review. Took Lottie to see John Krasinski's If. He. The last credit at the end of the first credit block, written and directed by John Krasinski. The first credit at the end, a film by John Krasinski. John Krasinski really, really wants you to know that he made it, because I think John Krasinski thinks he's made something special. It's got music by Michael Giacchino. It is shot by Janusz Kaminski. And it looks fucking great. You know? That it is like really high caliber, like people and the cast working at the top of their game for a film made for 5-year-olds. And it's not.
Kind of sells it a little bit.
The thing is, right? It's not bad. Like it's his heart is obviously on his sleeve. It is the most sincere fucking thing, and and it is quite sweet. Lottie had a really good time with it, but at the same time, there were teens in the audience who walked out 20 minutes in. So, and Lots is 10. I did kind of think she was going to be a little bit too cool for it. It was going to it was all right. But she actually vibed with it pretty hard. So, basically, story is, got this girl, her dad, played by John Krasinski, is in hospital. Something's up with his heart. They just call it a broken heart, so who knows. And her mum obviously dies of cancer before the end of the opening credits. So she's like fucking freaked out and shit. And she meets Ryan Reynolds, who plays this guy called Calvin, who basically helps imaginary friends for people who have forgotten their imaginary friends because they've grown up. And the girl decides to help them, and she wants to kind of like reunite them with the people who forgot them. Steve Carell voices this big fucker called Blue, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge voices this kind of like dancey one who likes making tea. And that's kind of it. That yeah, there's there's some stuff in the story that if you are an adult, you will work out very quickly after a key character is introduced. But then it obviously takes a while for kids, because Lottie, about 5 minutes before a reveal, went, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah," and it really is trying to be like, this is a reveal. This is the thing. It is just defiantly a kids' film. It is a Certificate U. Like, how many live action films do you get that are U's?
Fucking hell.
What was the last You movie I saw?
Like, yeah, and there is like no spice to it at all. You got Ryan Reynolds basically doing like Diet Ryan Reynolds, where it's him, but like he's not allowed to do him. And that's okay. And if Ryan Reynolds is just trying to break into that really hard to break 0 to 7 demographic, then mission accomplished. It's very sweet. It's a nice family film, and good on Krasinski for making it. It fair play to him. At the same time, just very overqualified people in it. And it honestly, when it pops up at the end saying a film by John Krasinski, and there's a mid-credits bit, and he's the last person you see in that. Yeah. I'm just a bit like, mate, just calm down. Even if it didn't say a film by John Krasinski at the end, I think I would have felt better. But it's just like
I think the last U-rated movie I saw at the cinema was Hugo.
Yeah, exactly. It ends on this big emotional moment, and then it's a film by John Krasinski. Yeah, I made that. I'm John Krasinski. I did some good news. Yeah, that got you through some tough times, didn't it? Here's if. But fair play. It is quite charming. It's sweet. There's a couple of decent laughs in it. Rattles along at a decent pace. There's barely any fucking story to it whatsoever. But it's sweet. I can't lie. I went in, like, to be honest, I did go in thinking like, God, I kind of hope this is shit. so I can just really fucking lay into it. Because I went to see it because Lottie wanted to see it, you know. Otherwise, I would not have seen it in the cinema. And it, you know, it's very sweet, and for kids, it's going to do a job. And
It's one of those, isn't it? It's kind of like, that's fine.
But also, it feels like it maybe cost a lot. And like, I mean, it's not a family film. I mean, it is a kids' film through and through. So, excuse me. There you go. But yeah, I mean, hey, Krasinski, you made it. Fair play to you. Right. Just going to get the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare up. So this is directed by Guy Ritchie, and it stars Henry Cavill, Alan Richardson, Alex Pettyfer, Isa Gonzalez, Babs Olusun... Oh, fuck. Babs Olusun Mukan. Apologies. Carrie Hillways, Henry Golding, and Tanner from the Bond films, basically Judi Dench and then Ray Fiennes' assistant, Rory Kinnear, and he was in Men, the man from Men, as Winston Churchill.
Mm-hmm.
Just good on him. Oh, and Till Schweiger from Inglourious Bastards is in there as an evil Nazi, because bless him, he probably can't get cast as much more. The British military recruits a small group of highly skilled soldiers to strike against German forces behind enemy lines during World War II. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Behind enemy lines. Yeah, I suppose it was Nazi occupied, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, what were your thoughts?
It's achingly trying to be Inglourious Bastards. And it should not. It gets by on the fact that Henry Cavill, Alan Richardson, and are really fucking watchable. I enjoyed it enough, is what I would say, but it very much is a movie that you can tell was made by a British public schoolboy, because they're all fucking obsessed with World War II. And it was a bit like, I don't reckon that as Brits we should be looking at Winston Churchill and going, oh, do you know what? He liked a little bit of ungentlemanly warfare. I don't think that's a book we want to open too much. Because we're going to end up exposing a lot of shit that the world is going to go, wait a minute, he did what? Yeah, so I enjoyed the movie. I just think that there was parts of it where I was like, oh, fuck off, guy. Like he went to boarding school. Alright, Lord went to boarding school. No, the boarding school. Eton, you know. And it's like, fuck off. And there was a little bit too much of that. And the other bit there is, I like, Guy, that you have your little like group of actors that you like to work with, and then this guy gets added to it, and so this guy might not be in it for a while, and then they come back and then they're in it, and it works like that, and you work with these people. Please don't let Alex Pettyfer be one of those. Like, he has the charisma of an old shoe, and the problem is he thinks he's fucking great, and he's terrible. But in saying that, the guy's name who you couldn't pronounce, so I'm not even going to fucking try, of Babs Elusa Makuna, he's fucking great.
Yeah, it was good.
Cast him in more. I actually quite liked Alaya Gonzalez. Thought she was funny in it. She was one-dimensional as fuck, but she was fun. We'll get more into it, but I enjoyed it. The action, the fun capery of it was good. but could have done without it being a little bit tally-ho, boys.
Before we get into it some more, I'm going to go for a wee.
Fair enough.
Sorry about that. Okay, good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, I thought it was it was solid. It's Guy Ritchie doing a Men on a Mission film, and that's fine. But yeah. I feel like the men on the mission maybe aren't as memorable or charismatic as you want them to be. Whereas like Babs and Isa Gonzalez, they have some really good stuff together. They're fun.
Yeah.
They've got good chemistry. And yeah, like I don't know, Henry Cavill doesn't feel like he really gets to shine all that much.
He's fun in it, and he looks fucking dashing. And the bit of I really do like those coats. I'm gonna have to get one of those. And then he gets the coat too early. But have you noticed he does an awful lot of just standing and saying things? You know, Richardson just does most of like the heavy like fucking action lifting.
Yeah. And I mean he's all right as well. I mean Again, I gave it a 4 on Letterboxd. I think that was maybe a little. It's a 3.5. It's a 3.5. It's fine. I'm kind of not surprised it just kind of like came out to nothing in the US, if I'm honest. It feels like one that in this day and age probably could go to streaming. It's not super cinematic. It just feels like it would play quite well at home on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it would. That's not to downplay it, but it both feels at points like it's trying to be too clever or throw little clever bits in, and you're going, can't you just make a more fun movie? It's fun, but I don't need the. Hey, Bond, nod, look, Bond, Ian Fleming, this guy's called M, Bond.
Yeah.
And they're going, yeah, we get it, Ian Fleming, we get it. But it's not a Bond film. Can we move on?
Yeah. They kind of did that in Operation Mincemeat as well a couple of years back.
Did they? I haven't seen Operation.
Yeah, like I swear Ian Fleming's one of the characters in that as well. Yeah, he is. Johnny Flynn plays him. That's right. I don't know. There's not too much to say about this one, eh?
There's not, because it's not far off and I know it's very loosely based on an actual a genuine operation. But it does feel a little bit like Guy Ritchie really liked Inglourious Bastards, so tried to kind of do a vibe with that, but it's just not as... When you try to frame that around an actual thing that happened, it ends up... It doesn't feel bombastic enough at points. It all feels like quite low stakes, which is weird because it's not. It's really high stakes, but you never feel like they're in peril at all.
Yeah.
You always feel like it's going to work because none of it looks like it's that difficult.
No, I mean, I will say I was pleasantly surprised when Til Schweiger drives off with Isa Gonzalez at the end. I was like, oh, fuck, are they going to do like she's a damsel in distress now? Nope.
Nope. But then even with that, I was like, well, yeah, she's clearly going to... She isn't going to get saved. She's very much going to save herself.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, and that's satisfying. Look, definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit. It's fun. I had 3.5 out of 5 fun with it. But there were bits that outright made me go, oh, fuck off, guy.
Sure.
You know, this has been the most Guy Ritchie film that has shown, you know, that he is actually, he's that side. He's not the fucking cheeky London chappie that people think he is. He is a wealthy family public school boy. Yeah. And that is kind of that. And part of my criticism of that might be I think in this country that we have way too much of an obsession with a 6-year period of fucking history. That it becomes like almost our entire identity as a fucking country, and it's a bit fucking weird.
Which is getting to the point where no one alive now was alive during, like, I mean, certainly World War One, basically.
Yeah,
but
there will be basically nobody alive now in this country that was around World War One, and for people who served in World War Two, you'd have to be in your late 90s.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's an element, and this is an incredibly fucking, like, controversial opinion. At some point, you need to fucking move on.
Yeah.
And just kind of go, yeah, that's history. Can we not bring it up every other fucking week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Churchill was a prick. So, yeah, it's the one time I'm going to say, I don't want a sequel to this guy. Please make Man from Uncle 2.
We're not going to get one.
We're not going to get one, but we always tease us at once we're not going to get. But this one, for once, I don't want.
Oh, dear. Right. Twitter questions?
We do have a couple, yeah. Just find them. Orange Warrior, was the 5 minutes of Apes franchise plot development worth the 2.5 hour runtime?
No! No. I think you yeah. And we agree, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Are you movie mad? Paul Giamatti is returning to Downton Abbey universe. Could he come back to the Apes franchise? Where else can Paul Giamatti go? Can Paul Giamatti be everything? So, I'm going to take that as, where would you like to see Paul Giamatti crop up?
I'd like him to be recast in the remake of Everything Everywhere All at Once as Michelle Yeoh's character.
Fair. Where would I like Paul Giamatti to crop up? It'd be fun, like, if he cropped up in just... I mean, the thing is, Paul Giamatti will crop up in random things. He's going to be... So he's been in Downton Abbey before then?
Yeah. I'm pretty... Yeah. I mean, right. Andrew confirmed it there, I think. But, yeah,
that's
I thought he had.
Wild.
Mate, Americans fucking love Downton Abbey.
Because Americans are famed for their intellect.
Come on.
Hi,
Downton
American
Abbey: A
listeners.
New Era was alright.
Yeah, we enjoyed it, yeah. It was fine. It was fun enough, yeah. What could Paul Giamatti fucking turn up in? Yeah, he could be in anything. He genuinely could be in anything. But fuck it, yeah. Let him turn up in the next Spider-Man as what's it? But just no CG, just the bits where he's not got CG in.
What, having... I mean, he was in a Spider-Man film.
Yeah, no, but like if you see like the bits where he's just got the fucking like the dots on him, the green screen dots.
Okay.
Yeah, just that.
Okay, yeah.
He's that villain. He's no CG man.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I'd watch the shit out of that. What are we covering next week, Ian?
Okay, so next week is The Strangers Chapter 1. Because there's nothing else out. And it could be interesting to see why the fuck they're doing 3 Strangers films.
Who is it again that's doing it? It's Rennie Harlin.
Rennie Harlin, mate, yeah. And it, like, I think they were shot back to back and they're being released like a couple of months a piece or something.
Yeah, they're all out this year, aren't they?
Yeah.
Rennie Harlin watched The Strangers and went, got an idea. I've got 2 ideas. I've got 3 ideas. And
I just
had
really,
somebody's number to get it made.
I really, really hope that this one seems like it's going to be a Strangers film and then just like takes it in some sort of batshit direction. They can't just do 3 films of people stalking unsuspecting people in their homes at night. Surely.
No, they can't. It's just... It's Rennie Harlin. Just go on then. His Strangers Chapter 1, 2 and 3. It'll be his 4 movies he'll have had out this year.
Fair fucking play.
Yeah, fair fucking play. I mean, he did have The Bricklayer out early this year, the Aaron Eckhart movie.
Yeah, that's right. Sky original in the UK.
Yeah. Fair fucking play. Yeah, I'm up for that, to be fair. Let's go.
Cool. Okay. Thank you very much, listeners.
Right, no, I'm just looking at what Rennie Harlin has got. He's finished making a movie, a disaster horror film, that stars Aaron Eckhart, Ben Kingsley, and some other people, right? I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for it. Cast Aaron Eckhart, ? As his character. Ben Kingsley, ? Angus Sampson, ? Kelly Gale, Jaya. Madeline West, ? Who the fuck wrote this?
Good.
Fucking go. Oh, fucking hell, Rennie Harlin. What a man.
Oh, right. There we are. We're done.
Done, yeah.
Thank you very much for listening, folks. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you very much, listeners.
Thank you very much, me. You're welcome. And,
Bye.
yeah, bye. Fuck you, Reitman.
Fuck you, Reitman.